What we're going to be doing today is replacing the speed sensor on an e-bike. Speed sensor is going to be right here, so we're going to have to remove the crank arm and get to it. So we're going to want to take our Allen wrench and remove the crank arm here. So we're going to go ahead and go counterclockwise. That comes out really easy. You can see that there's some Loctite on there. We'll go ahead and put Loctite back on it when we put it back in. The next thing we're gonna do is take our crank arm removal tool and go ahead and thread it right on the bike just like this. Take our wrench, make sure it's tightened down. Okay, once that's tightened down in place, we're gonna go ahead and tighten this down all the way. Once you have this screwed in all the way and you screw this down as far as it goes, you're going to hold the pedal. You're going to really have to turn with a lot of force to get this started. Just keep turning it. Eventually, it's going to loosen up. The more you turn it, it'll work its way out. So you need to use a lot of force. It's getting really loose. You feel it's coming out. And there it is. And now we can go ahead and we'll remove the tool from the pedal crank, and we won't need this anymore, and we'll put it aside. Removing the speed sensor is going to be different on many bikes, but it's also going to be very similar as well. On this particular bike, the speed sensor is here, and we're going to have to remove this cover in order to get to it. So let's go ahead and remove the cover. Make sure you don't lose your screws, keep them aside. It's really easy to drop one, not know where it went to. There we have it. Cover comes right out, and there's our speed sensor. Take our screwdriver here, kind of pry it off. Let's go ahead and pull this out. I don't know that I see any damage to it, but we'll go ahead and remove it here. I'm going to pull this apart and pop the new one on there. Just like that. It's only going to go in one way. You can see how the new one lines up. Put it back together just like that. Push it and seat it in there nice and firm. Once it's seated in there nice and firm, we're going to go ahead and reinsert our wires. This is going to tuck back here. Just make sure when you're reattaching your controller that you're being careful not to crimp or break any wires. Tuck our wires in and make sure our seal is lined up nice and straight. Now we'll go ahead and reattach our cover, just like this. You want to make sure everything's tightened down nice and tight, and you don't want to over tighten them with a drill. So that's why you maybe want to finish with the screwdriver, so that you're not over torquing anything. Now to reattach our crank arm, you want to make sure you're going the opposite of the other pedal. So you want to make sure that your crank arms are lined up and reattach. Put a little bit of Loctite on our screw here, and we're just going to screw it right back into our pedal crank. You're just going to want to hold the pedal down and tighten it down. Make it nice and tight, just like that. All right, the moment of truth. Let's see if our speed sensor's working. We powered on the bike. We're going to put it into pedal assist level 5, and let's see if our pedal assist is now working. We're going to lift the back tire up off the ground, being very careful because we don't want to break our kickstand. Let me go ahead and start pedaling. And there it is. So there you have it. So that's how you replace the speed sensor on the bike.